Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm happy to see you guys for another video. We have Brittany here as our canvas today, and we're doing a alien inspired makeup look, and we're going to start off by using the Elmer's glue and a spoolie brush to block out her brows. I'm taking the Elmer's glue and I'm smudging this all into her eyebrows, and I'm making sure every hair is covered so that when I do go on with the spoolie, it is easier to brush up. And then I will take the Elmer's glue and I'll start brushing up the brows with the glue, trying to flat them as much as I can. I do suggest heating up the glue stick a little bit on the back of your hand or with the tip of a spoolie, because mine has been sitting since I want to say like February. Around that time, that's when I bought this glue stick, and I haven't used it since, so it kind of dried out a bit and it was hard to use on the skin. And then when I went for the second layer of glue, it kind of peeled up a bit because it was so hard. So me rubbing on the back of my hand and using the spoolie really helped loosen up the product, and I was able to use it as if it was new. Once we apply all our layers, we're going to wait for the glue to dry. When it is wet, it stays purple, and when it is dry, it is completely clear. I'm going to go in with my Anastasia translucent powder, and I'm just setting the eyebrows so that the glue is not sticky anymore. Right here, I should have finished up my prep and finished blocking the brows with corrector and concealer, but I got so excited to use my airbrush machine, I completely forgot and do that later. But you see me here testing my airbrush just to make sure that the paint is coming out of the top. I did not use airbrush paints for this. I used face paints, and I used the Snazaroo face paints, and I'm using the pink one here. I took the Snazaroo face paints come in like a pot, so I just like cut chunks of the paint out of the pot, put it in a beaker of water, and I mixed it around and kept adding paint until it gave me the texture of milk. We read the instructions of this machine, and they said that we could use any paint as long as the paint has the texture of milk. So that's what we did, and it worked. Alright guys, so I'm really trying to learn how to use my pen and compressor together. On top of this pen, there is a lever. Once you press it down, it releases air, and then once you pull it back, it releases paint. We did watch a few YouTube videos on how to use it, and they said a normal pressure is around 60, and I noticed it was good for doing the whole body, since I did have to hold the pen about 8 to 6 inches away from the skin. It gave it a good spread without any splatter. But once it came down to like detail work, we did have to turn the pressure down to about 25 so that it can give a nice spray like how it's doing right now. If we were to do this for detail work and we would go closer to the skin, it will create splatter marks and it would look really messy. We are using water activated face paints, so we will have to do this in layers. If you try to do it all at one time, it will drip or create paint bubbles. I really liked swaying the brush back and forth like that really gently. It did give a nice even coverage, and I will do this all over her body for this first layer of pink, because we're going to go in with a darker shade of pink. So this is me trying to move on to the face but forgetting to block out the eyebrows completely, so I'm going in with my Stila color correcting palette and using the orange shade, and I realized that was a little too dark, so I went in with the salmon color, and that gave it a good flush of a color. And then on top of that, I went with the Born This Way concealer in pearl, and I blended that in with my fluffy concealer brush. Now that we are done with the brows, I'm gonna go ahead and set them now so they stay in place and things can stick onto them. I'm using Ooh, what's that? The Derma Blend? Guys, don't be worried about what translucent powder is gonna work. All of them are gonna work. I just have a few of them, and when I'm working, like, and I'm doing stuff and it doesn't really matter what translucent powder, I'll just pick up any that I have. And so far I've picked up my Anastasia one and my Derma Blend and that's what we're using right now. Once we're done setting the brows, we'll continue the face. I turned the compressor down to 25 so it isn't so strong on the face, and I am doing the same motions on her face with the back and forth so that I can get that nice soft even coverage. I'm still keeping a little bit further away from her face so that it spreads further around evenly. Also, I don't know if it's because I use water activated face paint or if I was to use airbrush paint specifically, it wouldn't do this. But the hairs on your skin, even the fine hairs, the paint is like attaching to it, so it's not really giving it like a soft finish, like that airbrush finish that we're kind of looking for in the face. Like on the body, it's giving more of that airbrush finish, and like when the hairs are a little bit more, you can start telling the little splatter marks. So I think maybe if I was to use maybe airbrush paint, that wouldn't happen, but I was definitely thinking models would have to shave their bodies so that the paint can lay over their skin evenly. Now I'm just switching in different angles so I can get all the crevices of her face, around her lips, her nose, her eyes, and stuff like this. This paint got literally everywhere, like her hair, her eyelashes. Like when she opens her eyes, she looks completely pink, except for like really close under her eyes. We'll have to do like small detailing, but we were gonna do details for that anyways and cover that up. So I really like the overall like evenness that the airbrush gave. It's just the texture on the face I wasn't feeling too well, and I think that I would have to go with creams next time I do like a full body paint on the face. Now we're going to add some depth by taking this Mehron Paradise paint in like their fuchsia pink color, and I'm going to be adding this like on her shoulders, like on certain parts of her arm, on her chest, her collarbone, and stuff like that to start adding depth to the look. Okay, this is a perfect example of doing too much at one time. Like you'll start seeing right on her shoulder those little splatter or little paint bubbles that she's having on her skin right now, and then I let it dry and then I can go back in and it looks more matte and soft and full of color and pigment. So make sure you are, if you're going to use this Snazaroo or any water-based paints, make sure you are drying between layers. And I also tried to put this on her face as well because I wanted to see how it works, and I really love how the airbrush blends everything together. It's like so soft and subtle, and like you can go back in with different shades just to blend things out further. I just really like the airbrush machine for like body painting. It was really cool using this. Now we're taking the white and we are spraying the center of her chest with it, and I am doing a light pressure with this one. I think I turned my pressure back down to 25 because I know white can be a little strong, but then eventually like I ended up getting heavy-handed and going really close and making it really strong. So be patient. If not, you're gonna have to go in with layers of other colors just to bring it back down, which you'll see me do in a minute. So to fix this, I'm going to make the white in the middle spread out a little bit further than I intended to. So once I go in with the lighter pink and the darker pink, they'll blend in a bit better and the inner part of her chest won't be so small. I still want it to be a pretty bright chest piece. Now I'm going to add some of the light pink back to the shoulders and around the white as if it was like a glow. Now it's time to add the brows. I'm using the Morphe Fierce Fairytale 6-piece color pencil set. You can use these as eyeliners, lipsticks, whatever you want to use them as. But we're using them as brow pencil today, and I'm using the darkest one that's in there. It's like a fuchsia purple. Now we're going to add details to the eyes and forehead. I'm adding these lines around her eyes, and I'll connect it to her forehead as well. And then you'll see me straightening out the lines the best way I can, trying to make them as even as I can. Now we're going to be drawing the cheekbone and the jawbone. I seen some inspiration on Instagram, so we are going to go with that. Now I'm taking a fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to go around all the edges and blend out the edges before I add any shadow. Now I'm taking my Be Perfect Cosmetics Carnival palette, and I'm using the darkest purple they have in there, and I'm going to start tracing over the edges. Now I'm taking another purple shade from that Be Perfect Cosmetics Carnival palette. It's the shade Fruity, and I'm going to apply it right next to that darker purple that's from the palette. I want to blend it into a pink. Now from the same palette, I'm using a pink called Pink Lily, and I'm adding this to the inner part of it, and I'm going to blend it more like closer to her inner part of her cheek. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the cheekbone. I'm adding the purple down there, and then I'll add the light purple, and then I'll do the pink. And I'll keep switching back between the colors of purple and pink and the light purple, just so that I can get a nice soft blend like how I did on the forehead. Then I'm taking this random eyeshadow palette that I have. There's a light pink and a dark pink in there, and I'm also mixing that in the mix of the pinks that we have, just because it gives more of a lighter look to it. So like on the cheeks, I have the dark pink more on the outer part and the light pink in the inner part, more closer to her lips, so that it gives it a nice little contrast. And I'm going to do the same thing for her neck as well, blending it from the purple, light purple, dark pink, light pink, all the way down to her neck, so it matches the blend that we did with the airbrush machine. Alright ladies, now it is time to detail the eyes. I am going to start by cutting her crease out with the same deep purple that we used for the rest of the face on this Morphe small fluffy brush, and I'll just take that all the way in. Now that we have that base color down, I do want to deepen out the outer corners, so I am going to take some black and I am attaching it to the headpiece that we got going on here. Then I am taking the light purple from that Be Perfect Cosmetics Carnival palette, and I'm blending the darker purple out. And then I am switching back to the dark purple, and I'm going to blend that together. And I'll just go back and forth between the two brushes to make sure that I have a nice blend between the purples. Now I'm taking some of that pink from the Be Perfect Cosmetics Carnival palette, and I am blending out that purple. I'm not doing anything different than I would do in Norm. I'm just blending them out in circular motions, and I'm just trying to keep control of my blend. I'm taking this pink just a little higher, just so that it has a softer gradient. Now I'm taking some of my NYX Cosmetics Jumbo Pencil in Milk, and I'm gonna just like clear off her lid, brighten it up a little bit, because I do want to add white on top, and I don't want it to come out like a pastel pink. I want it to really show up as white or like a silver, because that's kind of what I'm going for. I want it to have like a shimmer in it. Now I'm taking the Jeffree Star Cremated palette, and I'm using the white shimmery shade that is in there, and I am applying this on her lid all over, making sure I set it, and then I'm going back in with that dark purple, and I am going to blend out her outer corner, kind of like bring it more into the middle of her eye, giving it more of like an eyeliner shape. Then I'm going to go back in with the white shade and go on top and clean up the lid a bit, bring back the vibrancy. Then I'm taking that light pink eyeshadow from that random palette that I have, and I'm just dusting away all the purple that fell out. Going in with this ColourPop white eyeliner, and I am lining her waterline. I'm going to bring it a little bit further down from her lash line just because I want to smoke it out and keep her eyes looking a bit big. Sorry y'all, my voice sounds like this. I just came from the dentist and half of my face is numb, but we still got to get this video done. So I am smudging her under eye now. I am taking black and purple from that Carnival palette, and I'm smudging that under her eye, and I'm going to blend that pretty far down. I want it to connect with the headpiece. Now that we smudge the bottom with the black and purple, I'm going to go in with the lighter purple, and I'm going to blend this black and dark purple out a little bit more so it looks a bit more softer. I'm taking that pink from the Carnival palette, and I am adding that to her lower lash line as well to blend out the purples, and I'm connecting it to the eye makeup as well and to the forehead. I kind of want it all to come together as like one. Alright girls, so now it's time to do a little cleanup. I'm taking the Lorac Pastels palette, and I am using the pastel pink that is in there, and I'm kind of like adding dimension and wiping away all of the fallout with it at the same time. So you'll see me wipe away the fallout. Then once I get the fallout off the face, I'll start pressing some eyeshadow on top so it can start giving it like some highlight. Then I'm taking this purple. It has like reflections of blue inside of it, so when it hits certain parts of the light, it will either be purple or blue. And I'm adding this right on top of like the black so that it can pop more. And also I'm adding it in areas where the light is gonna hit her and it's gonna shine real cute. So I'm just lightly applying that on, blending it onto the skin, making sure it looks nice. Then I'm taking Peaches and Cream pigment and Starlight, and I'm adding that on top of the white to give it a nice shine like how her forehead is. These pigments are literally my favorite pigments. Peaches and Creams have such cute pigments. Like their reflect is so freaking cute. Like I remember when they used to be $8, and it used to be like a few years ago, but now they're like $16. But they are still good, so I still get them. Now I'm lining her lips, y'all, and I'm using like a black eyeliner for this. This is like a multi black pencil, so you can use this in your waterline, you can use this on your lips, you can use this on your eyes, so it doesn't really matter where you use this one. So I'm just lining out her lips. I'm gonna do like a little bit of an overdraw so that gives her a nice little pouty lip. Alright y'all, so it's time for some dazzle. So I'm taking these black diamonds and I'm adding them to the edges of her entire face, so around her eyes, this headpiece that I got going on her cheeks, and on her chin as well. We'll be adding some diamonds, and of course we're using the best lash glue, Cynful Luxury lash glue. It is the hold. I don't have to worry about it moving, budging, or anything like that, so we're gonna go with this glue. Now I'm completely filling in the lips with the same pencil that I lined them with. Alright, now it's time to add lashes. Of course, I'm using the best lash glue, and I am applying it to her lash line, and then I'm taking our luxury mink lash in Venus and I'm applying that to her lash line. And I'm just going to take my time, apply them like straight to the middle and start attaching them, and I like to make sure it stays as close to the lash line as possible. Now I am taking my finger and pushing the lashes up, and it gives it more like this cat eye look. Now I'm taking my Essence mascara and I'm applying this to her lashes to blend them with her falsies. We're going to make her falsies look like her real lashes by taking this lash press and clamping them together. You can get one of these at cynfulallure.com. Alright guys, and this is the completed look. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys found this video helpful or you liked it, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you guys have any requests, make sure you comment down below and let me know what you'd like to see. Until next time guys, bye.